Hi, this is a lovely limbering sequence keeping us moving. You'll see some old favourites in here, some low lunge, some high lunge and some downward facing dog, just to name but a few. So let's begin. We're going to start on all fours. We're going to cat-cow. So you're going to inhale, lift your chest, tilt your pelvis, put a slight bend into the arms as you work your elbows in towards the sides of your body. And on your next exhale, you're going to start to round the spine up towards the ceiling. Breathing in as you lift. Breathing out as you round. Let's do that a few more times. If you wanted to have your toes tucked under behind you, you can. Make sure your fingers are spreading into the floor and you're rooting down through the knuckle of the first finger and the heel of the thumb. So let's just come back into neutral. We're just going to take a moment. If your toes aren't tucked under already, then do that now. I want you to push down through your toe tips, through the balls of your feet, and you're just going to lift your knees ever so slightly away from the floor. We're holding here. You're hovering your kneecaps away from the floor. Keep your neck long. Breathe and notice. Don't hold your breath. Keep your jaw soft. Engage your belly. Draw and lift your belly button in and up. Let's take 3 more breaths here. Hold. Lift your breath into your diaphragm. 1 more breath. And then we're going to lower the knees to the floor. So you're going to inhale, raise your right leg back and behind. And then on your next exhale, you're going to draw your knee in towards your chest. Breathing in. Breathing out. Inhaling. Exhaling. Now, as you next extend your back leg, we're going to try to bend the lifted leg and we're going to try balance here. You're going to reach your left hand away from the floor. You're going to try and grab the top of the right foot and then you're lifting your foot up towards the ceiling. Lifting your breath high into your chest, your gaze long. If the balance isn't there, it's fine. We could keep the left hand to the floor and just pick the foot up as high as you can, but hold, just notice. 1 more. And then you're going to bring your hand and your knee back down to the floor and we're going to do exactly the same the other side. Inhale, lift the left leg. Exhale, knee to chest. Breathing in. Breathing out. Set your own pace. So you're moving in time with your own inhale and your own exhale. Let's do 1 more. As you next extend the leg back and away, you're bending that lifted leg. Work here if that's good for you. Otherwise, you're reaching around now with the opposite hand, trying to grab the top of the foot and lift. Breathe and notice. So yoga is great for different poses, balancing poses. And again, this is really important for our core stability. Over time, it increases our strength. 1 more breath. And then on your next exhale, you're going to release down. Take a moment here, reconnecting into the floor. You're going to tuck your toes under behind you. We're going to lift into downward facing dog. Lift your hips, your sit bones, pick them up. Now you're going to walk your hands a little bit further forwards. Let's check the line of the downward facing dog. So on your inhale, you're going to come forwards and you should come into a really neat plank here. This is where we know that the hands and the feet are a good distance apart. So check in with your line. And then we're going to relift the hips. We're coming back into our downward facing dog. Take a moment here. If we really restricted in the back line of the body, in the hamstrings and the calves, very, very common, We're going to bend into the legs. You're rolling high onto the balls of the feet, and then like a cat that's about to pounce, as you bend your legs, it's like you're nestling your lower ribs towards the tops of the thighs. And this is a better position if we're tight in that superficial back line. Keep your ears in line with your arms, breathe. Keep your sit bones picking up towards the ceiling. Let's take one more breath. And then on your next inhale, you're going to start to extend the legs, coming back into that neutral position. Hold, notice, spread your fingers. And then you're going to bring your right foot forwards up towards your hand as far as it will go. If it only comes halfway up the mat, about here, it's okay. You can pick it up and place it there. We're going to lower the left knee down towards the floor. We're coming into a low lunge now. So you definitely want your ankles stacked underneath your knee. And then we're lifting the torso, lifting the chest. On your next inhale, reach your arms up towards the ceiling. Breathe and notice. It's like your lower body is descending towards the floor as the upper body lifts. Breathe high into your chest, into your diaphragm. Lift your heart. One more. And then slowly we're going to lower the left hand towards the floor. You're going to tuck your rear toes under. We're going to extend the back leg. And then you're going to reach up with the right arm. Turning the chest. Breathe. Keep squeezing that rear heel towards the back edge of the mat. Take one more breath. On your next exhale, sweep the right hand back behind you. Bring the palm to the floor. Let's take that right leg back, come back into your downward facing dog. Hold for a few breaths. And let's just check in with the lines of the arms and the lines of the legs. Your quads are lifting up above your knees. Rotate your armpits to face the mat underneath you. So there's a nice opening into the shoulders. Tilt your sit bones up towards the ceiling. One more breath here. And then on your next inhale, we're going to bring the left foot as high as we can up towards the hand. Lowering the back knee down towards the floor. Set up your low lunge the other side. Inhale, reach your arms up towards the ceiling. Hold here. We're holding, but we're not staying static. There's lots of little movements. So as you connect with your breath, as you lift your breath high into your chest, breathe into your diaphragm. Maybe there's a little bit more of a back bend here. Notice the position, notice how you're feeling. One more breath. And then we're going to lower now the right palm to the floor as we tuck the back toes under, extend the back leg, reach your left fingertips up towards the ceiling. Hold. Keep that back leg straight. A plumb line from your right palm all the way up into your fingertips. Breathe. One more. On your next exhale, sweep your left fingertips all the way down to the floor. Come back into your downward facing dog. Let's hold for a few breaths. Again, reconnecting, recentering. So we use downward dog as a point to recalibrate, to recenter. Over time in yoga, we use it as a rest pose, but it's very challenging for many of us. So if you find it challenging, that's because it is. Let's take one more breath here. On your next inhale, we're going to bring the right foot all the way up towards the right hand. This time we're coming into a high lunge. So find your balance here, reaching your arms up towards the ceiling once again. So we're going to find a little bit of movement now into the arms. So once you've stabilized into the lower body, on your next exhale, bend the arms, elbows in line with shoulders. On your inhale, reach your arms up towards the ceiling. Breathing out. Breathing in. One more time. Bring your hands down towards the floor. Take the foot back. Let's come back into downward facing dog. So from here, we're going to take the little fingers and the little toes to the outside edges of the mat. We're coming into a wider stance. Squeezing your heels back down towards the floor, pressing your chest and your belly towards the front of the legs. On your next inhale, we're going to roll high onto the balls of the feet. Exhale out through the mouth, down through the heels. Breathing in. Once more. Bringing your hands back in line with your shoulders, your knees back in line with your hips. Let's take the high lunge the other side, bringing your left foot all the way up to your hand. And again, take a moment. Balancing, reaching your arms up. Keep your knees stacked above your ankle here. Don't overshoot the ankle with the knee. Exhale, bend your arms. Breathing in. Breathing out. Breathing in. As you next extend the arms up, let's bring the palms back down to the floor. Come back into your downward facing dog. Hold. Notice. So from here, on your next inhale, I want you to feed the chest forward. You're keeping your arms straight, but you're keeping your sit bones pressing into the space behind you. So there's an arc through the mid upper back. On your next exhale, you're going to slowly come back into your downward facing dog. Try and sync that with your inhale and your exhale. Inhale, come forwards, the crown of the head traveling to the top edge of the mat. And on your exhale, come back into your recenter. Breathing in. Breathing out. Couple more times. Once more. Engage your belly, draw your belly in and up. Okay, you're going to bring your left foot center. Let's try another little balance pose. On your inhale, you're going to start to lift your right leg up towards the ceiling as high as you can. We're going to come onto the right fingertips. So you're lifting up and out of the floor. Your left heel stays pointing towards the back edge of the mat. Notice, hold, let the neck go. You can take little pulses here. So as you take little pulses, lifting your foot a little bit higher into the space, stretching into the inside line of the standing leg. Now you can stay here if this is enough, or maybe you want to start to turn your left heel in towards your left wrist. This hand becomes weightless, and then as you start to bend the lifted leg, reaching for the inside of the foot and lifting your knee as high as you can. Hold, don't hold the breath, go soft, smooth and steady. One more, and then slowly, gracefully falling back down into your recenter, your downward facing dog. And then let's pick that up the other side. So bringing your right foot center line of the mat, inhale, raise your left leg up, come onto your left fingertips. As high as you can, you want to keep that right heel pointing towards the back edge of the mat. Little pulses here. Perhaps little pulses. If that's not available, it's fine, just hold. And then the balance is here if you want it. So maybe we're going to start to turn the right heel in towards the right wrist. We're bending the lifted leg. The left hand becomes light, and then you're grabbing the inside of the foot, and then you're slowly lifting, facing your chest and your gaze forwards or up towards the ceiling. One more breath. And then slowly, gracefully falling all the way back down, feet hip distance apart. Come into your recenter, rebalance, recalibrate. One more breath. And then we're going to lower the knees all the way down towards the floor. Let's take a child's pose, sinking your sit bones back towards your heels. Walking your hands forwards. Again, it doesn't matter if your sit bones don't come all the way down. Resting your forehead. If your forehead is way away from the floor, remember you can stack your palms or stack your fists. As you breathe in, take your breath into your lower back, into your pelvis. Diaphragmatic breath. One more. And then slowly on your next inhale, you're going to start to curl up. Let's just move into the wrists once more. So extending the arms forwards, thumbs into palms, wrap fingers around, and just rotate into the wrists. A few times one way, a few times the other way. Shaking it out. And again, just take a moment. Notice your breath. Notice your body. Thanks, guys.